In this example, we'll just connect to the database. The goal eventually is to run this application and type in the state code. And once we type in that information, we click on search and eventually look this up from the database. But let's start the database first. So if you remember from the last class, if I go here to C drive, my data folder, we set up a database here. And when we did that option, we used this line of code here to set it up. We then had this setting to create is equal to true. Note this is specific to my machine. On my machine, it's on the C drive data folder. Within that, there's a TaxDB folder, and within that, it contains specific information about the database. If you're running from the Mac, you won't have a C drive here. Okay, so just note this is what we did in our previous example. Now, the first thing I want to do is to start the Apache database. I'm going to go to the command prompt. So what I want to do is let's first go to the C drive here. Let's find out where we keep this information, or where I should say Java keeps this information, so we can start the database. So I'll go to Java, JDK. Let's go to the DB directory, and that information exists in the bin folder right here. Let's copy the address of where this is located. So I'm right clicking here and I'm copying. So I'm just doing Control C to copy. I'll right click here on the command prompt. Close here, I didn't mean to do that. On my machine it's right here, but wherever your command prompt is, you want to right click on it and you want to run this as an administrator so you don't run into any problems. I'll then type in CD and let's click on paste here to paste it. Hit enter, and now I'm in that directory. But the key thing is to be in administrative mode. I need two of these windows, one so I can start the server, and two so I can run some of the commands just to see if it's working. So let's type in start. That way I have another copy of that window. And the next step is to actually start the server. So let's grab this code and start the server. Okay, for some reason it enters it twice. Let me get rid of that one entry, hit enter, and wait until it says port 9215. So if you remember from a previous example, this indicates the host name, this indicates the port number, and eventually this will be running on port 9215. Now the next thing is let's actually connect to it. So the next thing we'll do is run the ij command from another shell here. Let's type in ij, and then let's connect to the database. You can have many databases on this machine, so let's test it. And okay, that's not pasting for some reason. Let's do that one more time. Let's do Control C, and there it goes. Hit enter. So the mere fact I got no errors, that's good. If that database did not exist, I would get an error. Next thing, let's describe the data. Let's describe one of the tables that we created in the previous example. Hit enter. Okay, and then let's just do a quick query on that table. And there goes our data. Now the key thing to remember again, on your machine, this might be slightly different. On my machine, my database exists on this folder. So double check to make sure you have a database that we already created in a previous example. So if I go to my C drive, data, there goes my TaxDB. And this is the database information. So the next goal now is we're going to look at a previous Java project that we created. And then we're going to try to use that project to actually search for the information in the database. Okay, with that, good luck and good coding.